to play the game of international politics had invariably ended in complete humiliation. For Bismarck, his job was not just to help the king, he was there to make Prussia great, and he knew how to do it. For about 100 years there had been this idea of German nationalism, the concept of a united identity that bound all of the peoples in the German-speaking states together. Maybe there should even be a single country for them, instead of all these tiny principalities. In 1848 there had been a wave of popular revolutions that had sought to make this a reality, but they'd failed spectacularly. The monarchies that actually ruled the German states had basically wanted nothing to do with it, and the monarchs controlled all of the armies, without which, no Germany. Bismarck's idea was, rather than trying to unify Germany with revolutions or democratic votes, why not do it with the Prussian army? So in September 1862, as he's locked in confrontation with liberal politicians over the military budget, Bismarck goes to the Landtag and says, not through speeches and majority decisions will the great questions of the day be decided. That was the great mistake of 1848 and 1849, but by iron and blood. Now, as it happened, Bismarck actually regretted making the speech. All it did at the time was further annoy the liberals, who weren't ecstatic to hear the money they hadn't granted was going to be used in wars they didn't want. But the minister-president had meant what he said, and he was about to prove it. In 1864, the Danish king tried to annex the Duchy of Schleswig, a state he technically ruled already, but was claimed by a German prince along with the Duchy of Holstein, a state that was actually in the German Confederation. Confusing? Everybody else thought so as well. You've probably heard this famous quote from the British Prime Minister about the question. All that's really important to know is that Bismarck used the issue as a pretext for war, and in a quick campaign recovered both duchies for the German Confederation. Then he turned on Austria. The Habsburg emperors in Vienna had been Germany's overlords for nearly half a millennia. It took the newly reformed Prussian army 7 weeks to bring them to their knees. In the aftermath, Bismarck dissolved the German Confederation and forced every principality above the River Main into a Prussian-led union, annexing them in all but name. Back home, the once